All right, you guys, here we go. Another project. You guys are just moving right along. So, you guys, here is project number 4, Human Body Systems. What you guys will be doing, this is actually going to span through an entire unit like you guys are very familiar with. And you'll just do little bits and pieces here and there throughout the unit. Um, give you guys a brief overview of what you guys will be doing. Then I'm going to actually dive into this a little bit today. Quickly, just go over some of these different different body systems that we have, so you guys are fully understand what's going on there. And then what I want you guys to do is you'll actually pick one of these, okay? And you're going to research and create a slide presentation on one of these. Body system. So pick one that you want to really understand a lot more about, because you'll be diving into this pretty in depth. Okay. I want you to have fun with this, though. I think the human body is very interesting, and it's very complex, and it's amazing how it can do the work that it needs to do. So, really quickly, you guys, just so you guys can see this, you guys will see this as well. But basically, what you'll do is like I said, you're going to be learning about these different body systems and the parts that make up the body systems, each one of these, and the functions that they have. And so, I'll dive into this a little bit, but I want you guys to really start to see there's a very important, I call them cross-cutting concept that's being applied here, and it's structure and function. How does the structure of this organ or this system help in the functioning that it does, and help the body really survive, okay, and do the things that it needs to do? And so we're going to really look at this. A couple things in your presentation, make sure it includes these 6 things, okay? You'll need to cite your source. And this is kind of showing you. So in lesson number 16, all you're going to be doing is picking your body system and then brainstorm where you could get some of that information from. Okay, so the internet, maybe some resources from this course, stuff like that. The world is your oyster there with that. Lesson 17 is where you're going to find some sources and images that you can use. Make note of your sources. This is where you're going to write your content, type of your short essay that will go along with this. Well, it'll be included into your PowerPoint presentation, and then you'll kind of just put it all together in these last 2 lessons to make it look really nice. Okay. So if you have any questions specifically on what you need to do for this project when it comes to making the PowerPoint, let me know. Okay. But here we go. Let's dive into this puppy. All right, so you guys, when we're looking at the body, there's a couple things I want you to really look at. You can see that there's a ton of different parts of it, right? And so you have your location and your function, kind of like I was talking about with structure and function. But you have epithelial tissue, you have connective tissue. Both of these have different functionings, and they have different locations and structure to them. But we have nervous and muscle tissue. We can then take this tissue and go into the organ systems, is what you are really diving into to look at, okay? And there's 11 different organ systems that you guys will need to understand. I'm only going to go through a couple, but here's some examples. We have the nervous system, integumentary system, and immune system. And right here you can see some of these organs that are part of that, okay? Now this is probably just a quick review of your stuff that we've already gone over, right? But I want you guys to notice as we're going through this, the structure and function. Okay, so we have the nervous system. It has its structure. You have the brain. You have this large spinal cord that comes through. Then we see these different peripheral, these nerves that go throughout the body that are doing some different things there. And we can see, how does the structure that this thing help with the functions that it needs to do? Okay. The integumentary system is your skin, so outlines the entire outside of your body. All right. How does its structure help in guarding against infection? Think about that. Why is the body, the skin, how does its structure help us do that? How does it help protect us against sunlight? Okay. Because if without it, we'd have a lot of cancer, right? And we still do, and there's still a lot of people that do. But anyways, yeah. How does the immune system, very similar to the nervous system, how does it help in protecting the body against diseases? And the coronavirus. Okay. Here's some other ones. So we have the muscular system, we have the circulatory system, skeletal system. All right, same thing. Think about that. So I'm going through just a couple more here. So we have the respiratory system. We have the digestive system. Can I make that smaller? Oh, just learning new things every day. Excretory system, endocrine system, and the reproductive system. Okay, so how do these different structures within the system help the system do its job? How does the one system entirely help the body function? So be thinking about those kind of things. I think it's very fascinating. All right. The other thing that I want to go over is these different body systems, what are their overall job? Each one carries a different thing. So we have the so like the respiratory system for breathing. We have the nervous system for sense. How do these different body systems really help our body do what we call maintain homeostasis? Okay, so to better understand homeostasis, it's the idea that our body maintains a stable internal condition, right? So think about body temperature. Think about the nervous system. Let's say that it's cold outside and you walk outside. How does the nervous system help you maintain homeostasis? If you think about that, it'll say, okay, it's hot in here, or it's cold outside, we need to warm up. It's going to probably do several things. It's probably going to say, hey, be smart, go get a coat on. Or it could maybe say, hey, muscles, I need you to start to shiver. Okay? And the shiver causes friction inside and creates heat. Okay? And so that you can see, well, how does the muscular system help in maintaining homeostasis when it comes to temperature? Okay? It's those muscle contractions causing that friction. All right? So some different things there. Think about the different body systems and how they can maintain homeostasis, whether it's body temperature, it could be blood glucose levels, it could be oxygen levels in the blood, okay? It could be the amount of pathogens and other bacterial infections that you have. How does your body keep out the bad? And when it does get in, how does it keep homeostasis to keep our bodies clean and healthy inside? Okay. So kind of just that again, what we kind of went over. All right. So diving in really quickly, digestive system. If you guys want to, you can fast forward through this. But for those people that want a quick review of the different body systems, I wanted to go over that. So the digestive system consists of both it's got your mouth mainly. You have your stomach and digestive, your large and small intestine, and then you would have your bowel movements and things. Okay, so your cecum and stuff like that. So anyways, you can see kind of the steps of how this goes through and kind of the structure that the digestive system has. So your digestive system, it starts to digest the food right in your mouth with saliva. In your saliva actually are enzymes that help break down sugars. And then also you have the mastication from your mouth, chewing and things. And when you're doing that, it helps to start to digest that food. The stomach is where there's a lot of acid and other things like that will help to digest that even more. And what's interesting is in your stomach, it's got folds and stuff. So surface area can change. We want more surface area because then it can absorb that food that gets taken in. So again, structure and function. So this kind of goes into that. In the stomach, you can see that it's got those folds in there to make more surface area for the food. The more surface that it has exposed, the more it can absorb that nutrients into the bloodstream. And you see how that kind of works there. Okay, the excretory system incorporates multiple. You'll actually notice that some organs are part of multiple systems. Okay. But the excretory system, this another word is urinary system for this one. So urination, how urine is produced. And so you can see that water is absorbed through the digestive system. it can either be absorbed or taken out. And so that's kind of interesting. And it actually happens in the kidneys. So the kidneys are probably the biggest part of the excretory system or urinary system where urine is produced. And in the kidneys, you'll see that what they're trying to do is take water in or out. And so if water is too high in our body, it would kill you. And if that's the case, what it would do is it actually would cause your blood cells to burst because of too much water. And if you go back to like diffusion and stuff like that, it's just a very high concentration of water versus solutes. And so it's going to cause those cells to burst. It's a type of hypotonic solution. Okay. And so what we see actually happen is blood will come in. If there's too much water in the bloodstream, the kidneys actually will pull that water out of the bloodstream and put it back to homeostasis. However, sometimes our urine is very concentrated. It's because we haven't drank a lot of liquid. And in that case, it's trying to put water back into the blood vessels to keep our blood so it's not paste and die, right? And so it's trying to maintain that stable homeostasis. And so we see that happening here as well. That's just a deeper view of how it kind of does that, and it's again with surface area. So it's got this loop of Henle is what it's called, causing just so much surface area throughout this entire system to try and get as much water out or put as much water in as possible. All right, so you have the circulatory system. So this is blood traveling throughout your body. The major organ is the blood, or is the heart, of course, and lungs. But the heart's probably the major one, and we can see how it kind of does that. I don't need you guys to know the different parts, but just know that blood comes in two locations, and it comes in as deoxygenated right here. So this is showing it coming from the body parts in there. It'll then go out to the lungs to get oxygenated, come back in, go up to the brain first, okay, and then back down into, as it comes out of the brain, comes back in, gets oxygenated again, and then we'll go out through the body. What's interesting, this is a 4-chambered heart. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 aorta and 2 ventricles. All mammals will have a 4-chambered heart, very specialized in what it needs to do. Larger animals would not be able to function with a smaller or different heart. So some reptiles and amphibians have 3-chambered hearts, which allows those body sizes can't be as big. All right, you got your blood vessels that are part of that. Blood. So go through that really fast. Then you have the lymphatic system. Again, this is just your body helping to clean and kill all bacteria, viruses, stuff like that your body comes in contact with. The respiratory system. So this is getting that oxygen to your blood, which is very important. Okay. All right. Nervous system. I kind of spent a lot of time on this. I'm not going to have you guys too worry about that. Yeah, let's don't worry about that too much either. Muscular system, you guys have got that too. Okay. What's interesting about this, if you really dive into the structure of the muscle, you have actin and myosin that work together, and so that's kind of how that friction can happen right there. But contraction is those coming together, and then when you don't contract or release, it's the release of that stuff to relax that. Very fascinating how it works. All right, integumentary system is your skin. Don't underemphasize this system. Very, very important. Okay. And then your endocrine system, making your hormones, testosterone, estrogen, and many, many more. Okay. All right. I think that's all I really want to go over. Oh, of course, we have to go over the reproductive system. So the reproductive system, you guys, obviously you have your male, female, and it's very fascinating. the different body parts and how it helps in the functioning that that system has to carry out. Okay? All right. There we go. All right, you guys. So, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. But pick one of these, one that you are interested in learning more about, do the research for it, and get that PowerPoint submitted to me for this lab. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you guys later.